Hi guys, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. To finish out the chakra readings, we're going to tap into the Crown Chakra and a little information about the crown and what it represents. It's located at the top of your head. This is your connection from body to spirit. It connects us to our higher self, our divinity, our angelic self. It's how we attain peace and higher consciousness. It is also the center of our wisdom, our spiritual awakenings. It helps to liberate us from like old patterns, old preconceived notions and understandings. It helps liberate us from the past or from situations that we kind of get stuck in. It helps us to open our mind and expand our perceptions and to liberate ourselves from being trapped in cycles. A lot of people, when you have a blocked crown chakra, you can experience neurological issues. Some people have epilepsy. Some people get a lot of migraines and headaches. MS is one. Schizophrenia, Alzheimer's, dementia, things like that, and that are located in the mind. So these are the 3 pile choices here. I'm going to get the significator cards to help you choose your pile with an image to go along with your crystal. So pile number 1, tap me into the collective of pile number 1, please, Spirit. Those who are choosing pile number 1. Almost had a card come out. Alright, I believe there's 4. Can't use those. Let's get 1 card, please. Pile number 1. These are really big cards. Sorry, you guys. It's almost kind of hard to shuffle these. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to split the deck. I'm going to take 3 from the top, then we will reveal them together. Alright, pile number 1, we have endless opportunities, and that is paired with Scolecite. Okay, pile number 2, your card is the Soul Star Chakra. This one is a Celestial Aura Quartz. Pile number 3, your card is the Violet Flame, and that is with Garden Quartz, also called Shaman Quartz, Lodolite Quartz, Inclusion Quartz. This one's got a beautiful rainbow in there. Alright, if you need more time to meditate, just pause the video. If you already know which reading, which pile is for you, the timestamps are going to be listed in the description box below, and I will see you all at your readings. Hi, pile number 1, this is your reading. If you chose the Scolecite crystal with the Endless Opportunities card, a little bit about Scolecite, because you know I love crystals and I want to share the information in case you are drawn to adding Scolecite in your collection. This is a great stone to help work with the crown chakra. I chose it because this one brings peace of mind. It helps you to meditate more, to connect to the higher realms. It's very good for communication and understanding, especially in relationships, not only to others but with yourself. and it helps you to bring more clarity, more focus, to see things from a higher perspective, which is why it's so great to work with when you're meditating. It's also very good for emotional balance, for helping you to release any kind of stress, anxiety, panic attacks. Anybody who's prone to those, this is a great crystal to work with. Very soothing and relaxing mineral. What else about Scolecite? I think that's good. You know, it helps you, give you a higher perspective and a little bit more clarity on things. And so I love that it's paired here with the endless opportunities. And what we have here is like somebody who is looking to transform their thoughts and seeing things from a different perspective. And I see there's like the hair, what I'm seeing is like DNA when I look at this. And I feel like there's some patterns that are needing to evolve and transform and shift, whether you're in that process now or this is something that is taking place or going to be taking place or being asked to take place. So yeah, I feel like there's this evolution, this transformation of perception, which is the third eye. And the crown chakra and the third eye work hand in hand because they relate to our mind, you know, and we have to be able to shift things in our mind and our perspective in order to access our higher self, to connect to our higher self. And it involves us evolving the way that we see things and seeing things from that higher perspective, seeing things from a divine connection and angelic perception. And it's card number 23, which is a 5, which is about change and life lessons and being authentic, you know, the truth, seeing the truth as it is with clarity. Okay, let's see what else we have for you. Make sure this is on camera. Don't want it too far off to the edge. All right. We have apothecary cabinet. Without practice, without befriending them, they are strangers in your path. Yeah, this is about getting to know yourself, getting to know your fears, getting to know your passions, getting to know your perceptions, what you believe, what your truth is. Maybe this is accessing your spiritual connection, you know, your truth, finding that truth, shifting the way that you perceive things so that you can access your truth without the past, you know, past patterns, past belief systems, and transforming them and evolving them. Oh, we have apple of my eye. That's that third eye chakra connection. Not all that's alluring may be what it seems. See beyond the illusion. Yeah, like I said, I feel like you are shifting the way that you see things, or you will be shifting the way that you perceive things. And this is what opens the mind, you know, it creates that connection to your divinity, to your higher self, and seeing things from that higher perspective. And it requires you to connect more, maybe to meditate, get out in nature, spend some time, you know, calming the mind, bringing that peace of mind in so that you can find your truth, so that you can illuminate your shadows. What else we have? Shaman master, be grateful, graceful in movement and action. Yeah, and see, we have this dragon. I feel like there's some patterning, something in the root system. And when we have things that are, you know, they're beliefs, habits, structures, things like this that are from childhood, you know, they're in our DNA, things that are woven in our DNA. They're passed down genetically from our family lineage, and the structures and the belief systems that they have, they get passed down, you know, and sometimes we can limit ourselves by putting things like in a box, you know. Society loves to label things, and when we label them, we put them in a box, and it can kind of limit the way that we see things and perceive things. So it's trying not to narrow things down a little bit more. It's about expanding our perception and expanding the way that we see things, even the way that we connect to ourselves. But these patterns that are passed down, and we have the dragon here, they can be so like deeply rooted in within our own belief system. And once we get, I would say they can be so rooted that it's so hard to shift our perception and transform them. But when somebody gets on the healing journey and they're doing the spiritual work, when we finally get into the crown chakra, this is where the restructuring takes place, because it's the way that we see things and understand them. And this is when we obtain the wisdom from the experiences that we have been through. And so I feel like you're maybe being asked to cut away and to release those things that no longer serve you, and release those habits, release the old perceptions, the old patterns, the old limitations, things that limit you and prevent you from moving forward and having that divine connection with your higher self. And I love that we have the, what is this called? What are they? Praying mantis. Yeah, like it's having that peace of mind, that stillness, and stilling the emotions, calming the emotions, so that the mind can be at peace. And sometimes what can happen is when the crown chakra gets blocked, some people, if they don't have a spiritual connection, and they suffer through the headaches. Some people can be very much in their ego, needing to be right in the way that they see things and perceive things, and it can be very limiting. And a lot of people who have a lot of emotional pain tend to lean more in towards their ego, which can be very narrow-minded, because we're not connected to the body anymore, to our emotions, to our heart. We become too like self-centered and focused on self and needing to be right, and not wanting to change or to feel into our emotions and trying to understand them and nurture them and grow them. It's befriending our fears so that we have understanding, and we can have more compassion for ourselves, more empathy for ourselves, more compassion for those who do hurt us, and understanding where it comes from and why you chose this experience yourself as well. What were you wanting to learn? What wisdom were you trying to gain from this experience? Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, and he's in defense mode here. Defending, your right, your truth, your perception, the way that you see things, the possibilities. And that's what the crown chakra, when it's fully open, it's like you have the potential to manifest, your heart's desires, because you have that connection. When you're in an alignment with your heart's desires, that's when you have that connection to your higher self, and your higher self's desires will come forward, and you have this potential to manifest. You have these opportunities, these synchronicities that just start falling in line. They just start happening. You start seeing signs, you start seeing those angel numbers, more connection to your spirit guides, nature, things like that. It can be very beautiful when you get into this energy, into alignment with your higher self. All right, let's see what else we have. We have Air Guardian. Shift your perception. Yeah. Let's see. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. See, and I feel like that is like, like when you have a connection to your heart space, your truth, you connect more to the higher realms, because the heart is our center. It's where the spiritual and the physical meet within us. And it's allowing yourself to accept your truth and to see things from that higher perspective, this beautiful transformation that is here for you, this possibility. I think it's so funny. We have 1, 2. It's this forward movement, you know. 2 is that balance, it's harmony, thinking positively, seeing things from that positive spectrum. Sometimes what can happen is, you know, the ego can see things from such a negative point of view, and it keeps your vibration low and focused on the negative instead of on the potentials, and having that sense of hope and faith and connecting to your higher self, because your higher self is in the higher realms, you know, it's in the positive spectrum, it's in a higher vibration, and it wants you to have your needs met, and wants you to be happy, wants you to be successful, to know your worth, to know your value, and not to be in a place of loneliness or sadness or fear or regret or any of those lower vibrations. They really want you to shift the way that you see things and to obtain the wisdom from the experience. That is the medicine, the healing energy, is having that, going into the heart space, shifting your perception about the experience, about the way that you perceive the situations. And that is the medicine. It's like extracting the elixir, the tool. You know, what was I learning from this situation? I was learning how to love myself, how to set healthy boundaries, how not to tolerate somebody talking to me this way or treating me this way. I now know what love doesn't look like and what's good for me, and that's not an energy or a person or, you know, a situation that's good for me. And now I've experienced it, so therefore I'll know in the future to avoid those types of interactions or this type of energy or this type of person. You know, you're always learning something, we're always growing, we're always evolving. But some people get stuck in patterns, in loops, and they just keep repeating the same thing over and over. And if you experience that, then the lesson is to choose something different, you know, to shift the way that you do. If you've always been doing it this way, it's time to shift and do something different so that you're not repeating the same thing. You're not stuck in the loop, right? You got to shift some things around. And a lot of people, they pretend not to see the red flags out of their love or needing to have, or a fear of being alone. I've seen this a lot in a lot of relationships with people. They will stay in bad relationships out of their fear of, you know, being alone or not being good enough or not being valued by somebody else. So they're willing to stay with somebody and hope that they change, and that somehow that their love will be good enough and the person will want to change. And like, that's the thing. This is who they were when you met them, and if they haven't made those steps, you know, there's only so much time you can offer, and only so much heartbreak you can suffer before you start then turning against yourself and betraying your own heart and your own feelings. And then you start turning on yourself and shaming yourself, and, you know, you start sitting in a negative mindset, and you get stuck there. You have Cancer, immerse. You have Sun. Ooh. We have Memories of Atlantis, Spiritual Acceleration, Progress, and Technology. Yeah, I feel like there's some emotions that need to be, you know, brought to the surface, healed, and shifted in the way that you see things, the way that you feel about them. And there, with this Memories of Atlantis, these can be memories that have been, you know, from past lives even. You know, I was telling you, in your DNA, you can have things that have been with you through many incarnations, and it's been several cycles that you could be repeating you know, these situations with different individuals, but it could be the same soul just incarnated in a different body, just like you, that you're having to learn learn how to shift your perception of your emotions or these patterns and these habits so that you can move forward and liberate yourself from having to incarnate in these same patterns and these same loops and same cycles. Because this is the chakra that helps liberate us from our patterns. This is where spiritual awakening takes place, because we shift the way that we see things and we do something different. We create change. And you have this potential to invoke this awakening now. Let's see what else we have. Journey guide, travel, change, and location. Yeah. We have that right underneath this air guardian. Shift in your perception. Going on this spiritual journey to shift the way that you have seen things, the way that you've experienced things. Shifting the way you perceive your experience. And a lot of people don't take enough time to be with themselves, to understand themselves, understand what motivates them, what drives them, where these thoughts come from, where do they originate from, why do I feel this way, when was the first time I felt this way, you know, and it's going in and liberating yourself from, you know, anybody else's projected ways of doing things, other people's perceptions, you know, from their experience. And this is where it comes from. Like, their experience has shaped their perception just like yours, but you can change them by going in and understanding them from a different perspective, looking at things from a different angle. You know, it's like crystals like this, okay? See, this is a dodecahedron. It has so many different faces, and each one is looking at something from a different angle, right? And all you got to do is shift it around to perceive it. It's just like two people who are standing across from each other, and there's the number 69 drawn in the sand. Each person sees a different number, but it is the same number. You know, this is where the change comes from. It's understanding that there are many points of view. There's not just one. And that's what limits us, is that we get so stuck in this little box and we forget that there are many, many perceptions. Just like there's many of us, there's many colors of the rainbow. There's endless perspectives. And so you're being asked to shift the way that you perceive things and tune into your heart and see things from, you know, a more cohesive perspective. One that is seen with both eyes, not just the ego. See things from your heart. Oh, we have the Sun Dancers, another sun card. Joyful activities, celebration of life, and abundance. Very nice. See, and that's what will happen when you start to see things and change things. What else we have? We have Eyes of Beauty, positive expectations, and clarity. Ooh, what a great combination. Sometimes what can happen to us when we get into a negative mindset, we can start seeing things from like a hopeless point of view, and we can get into that negative place of it's never going to happen, or, you know, I've been trying to manifest this, and I've been, you know, focusing on this, I've been saying my mantras, I've been saying my affirmations, and, you know, holding gratitude, etc. But if there is something that's blocking you, if you have a pattern or belief system that you may be even unaware of that is preventing you from seeing your own value and your worth, and that you are worthy of this and that you deserve this, in your belief system around having whatever it is you're trying to manifest, it will be that blockage that prevents you from receiving that. So it's shifting our perception. Like for me, I had one where, I mean, my parents, when we were younger, it was that money don't grow on trees and you have to work hard for everything that you get. And my mom used to say money's the root of all evil. You know, there was this poverty mindset both of my parents had, and it was so hard to shift and understand that those were some of my belief systems, because that's what my parents believed, you know. And I could see how people with money were so ego driven, and they were very, you know, self-serving. They were very selfish. They weren't generous people. And most of the people that I know who were very generous were the people who didn't have a lot of money, because they empathized with other people who didn't have money, with the homeless and stuff. We, you know, empathize with them and feel for them. I saw a lot of people who had money didn't. They always thought that poor people were the ones who were the problem. And it just was heartbreaking. And because I saw that reflected in my reality, like I held on to that belief system, but it was preventing me from knowing that I was worthy of having money and wealth and finances, and trusting myself that just because of the way that I grew up, I wouldn't be that way, you know, because of my heart, and trusting myself that if I was to be wealthy in that way, I wouldn't be somebody who was selfish or, you know, greedy or anything like that. And I wouldn't use my money for selfish reasons. I would actually do something very great with my money. So, and it's having that shift in perspective and finding that whatever the root is that's in our childhood, and finding it, what is the source of the belief system, and then shifting that belief system is what has created such a big shift in my reality. And I'm passing this on to you. Those of you who are tuning into this reading, if you have something from your childhood, a belief system that needs shifting, that is where you go in order to find it, so that you can have this beautiful abundance and this manifestation and these opportunities that are waiting to be yours through shifting these patterns and these structures that we have adopted from our parents or society or from family or friends even, you know, and seeing things from a higher point of view and a perspective. And having also expecting those good things to come, you know, having that positive expectation that things are shifting, that you will have this abundance of love, abundance of friendship, abundance of wealth, whatever it is, you know, of good memories, good times. You know, whatever you feel that you're lacking, it is something that comes from within, but it is not the truth. And you're being asked to shift the way that you perceive things. All right, what else do we have? We have creatures of earth take charge. Last one is the chiefess, strength tested. I haven't seen this card before. Let me read from the ancestors for you for these two here, because I feel like they have a special message for you. Give me a moment to get the guidebook. Here we go. Okay, and these are secrets of the ancestors. Let's see what your ancestors want you to know. Okay. Focus and take responsibility for every aspect of your life. Eventually, your hard work will pay off and you will see the success you desire. Be loyal to your own dreams. Patience is required. Slow and steady also wins the race. Presently, it is about being solid and stable. When you are uncomfortable with emotions, your own or other people's, you are robbing yourself of experiencing true intimacy. Intimacy, okay? Being vulnerable means allowing yourself to be uncomfortable and still be open. Make space for others to be vulnerable with you as well. Here's an ancestral memory for you. This ancestor, the animal spirit of earth, is known as the sand fox or the pale fox. For the Dogon people of Malay, the fox is a sacred animal who works with a divining priestess to grant you guidance that you can trust. Here's the medicine from the ancestors. This is the most hardworking ancestor. The creature of earth wants you to trust yourself. Sometimes what is required of us may be boring or repetitive. You're being asked to stay the course. Declaration: I finish what I start. Okay. I love that. See, and this is, when you look at it, you can see somebody is tilling the soil, right? They're planting these roots, and this is the harvest that you're waiting to come in, right? So sowing those new roots, these new belief systems, this is the seed, and the seed represents our thoughts, our intentions, and we want to ground them into the earth, and then we want to nurture them with our emotions, with our heart, with our passion, and it's steadily taking care of those plants. If any of you have ever had a garden, this is what you're doing. You have to till the soil, you have to pull out the weeds that are no longer serving, that you don't want growing in your inner garden. I've taught a class about this. Actually, I'm thinking about writing a book about restoring the Garden of Eden within, and it has to do with working with the elements and understanding the elements here, and creating your own healthy garden within, so that you aren't planting seeds that are weeds, that aren't serving you, that are going to, instead, you want to plant those seeds that are going to sprout and bring that fruitful harvest that you're looking to achieve. All right, pile number 2. Card number 2 is number 8, and I love that we have this infinity symbol up here. This is that balance, and this tiger facing those fears. Number 8 is about strength, balancing the karmic lessons, and limitless potential, endless opportunities. Okay, number 8. Woo! You are being tested, but you've got this. Stay the course, beautiful. Confront your fears and insecurities with courage. Trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You are a multi-passionate natural leader. Stand up for yourself and express your needs clearly while maintaining grace and respect for others. Powerful beyond measure describes you and the ancestors of your ancestors. You walk in strength and fortitude. You will not only survive your current challenges, you will thrive. The ancestral meaning: the chiefess depicts Chiefess Wangu Wamakiri, the first woman to lead the Kikuyu people of Mibiri, Kenya, and her lioness spirit. She holds her village, including you, in her hands. Her medicine: my child, you are in charge of your life. Some of your ancestors had their natural leadership abilities beaten into quiet and submission. Own your power now. Declaration for yourself is: I am stronger than I ever thought possible. This is the strength card of the deck, okay? You're being asked to stand in your truth. Stand in your power to overcome these belief systems, these structures that have been forced on you. And your ancestors are rooting for you to overcome this. They've been waiting for somebody like you to incarnate into the life that you have, into this time frame that we are all in at the moment. Now is the time for you to bring in this shift, bring in this change, to have those healthy expectations for yourself, okay? All right, pile number 1. This was your reading from your Crown Chakra. If this reading resonated with you, I'd love to see maybe, let's see, what can we do? Let's do the peacock down there, because this is about you shining your light and owning your truth, and creating that beautiful shift, and shifting your perception a little bit. So let's do the peacock if this was your reading. And I'd love to have you all back here for future readings. Sending you all of my love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hi, pile number 2. This is your reading. If you chose the Celestial Aura Quartz with the Soul Star Chakra. So, Celestial Aura Quartz is quartz crystals that has been, heat treated with a specific type of mineral. And this one here, I believe, is silver. And it creates that beautiful rainbow color to it that you see right here. This is a great stone for helping with anybody who's seeking enlightenment or spiritual growth in some way. It's a great crystal to connect to your higher self, to the divine realms. Also great for manifestation. It is also quartz, so it's a powerful healer. It's a master healer crystal. This stone is also very good for enlightenment. I want to say peace, magic. It looks like a magical crystal. Great for emotional healing even. All in all, I would say this is a great crystal to help anybody who's on the ascension path. So, and what I love is that we have it here with the Soul Star Chakra merging with the divine. This is you having an opened Crown Chakra and merging with your higher self. You've made that connection to your higher self, and you are accessing your truth, your divine light, transcending the physical body, the 3D, and bringing in that ascending energy. Learning to let go and be filled with that beautiful divine light. Yeah, connecting to, the stars, to the cosmic energies, the universal energies. Your higher self. Let's see what else this reading wants you to know from the Crown Chakra. Essentially, this is like a higher self reading here. What your higher self wants you to know, since we're speaking to the Crown Chakra. Let me make sure you can see this. Yes, okay. All right, let's see what we have. Grieving. The chambers of your morning are surrounded by nothingness, emptiness, and waiting to be seen. Okay, so remember I was saying this is about letting go and surrendering. The emptiness, the void space, and allowing yourself to be in that space of void, where you are everything and nothing all at once, which is the potential of creation, the void. It is where nothing exists, but yet everything exists. And we have, it's a card number 19, which is essentially a 10. And that is the, it's the 0, which is the ending. It's the space in between the cycles. And it's also the 1, which is the new beginning, the potential for something new. It's also your independence and a manifestation. So it's there may be a little bit of sadness in the letting go, because it's in the letting go of who you used to be, so that you can create that space of who you are and who you are becoming. Your divine self, your higher self, your angelic self. Let's see what else we have. We have campfire. Do not fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. And this is a 6. It's about balance and love. And I feel like this is related to the throat chakra here, because we have opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak, and this is your truth, accessing your truth, your authentic self, your divine self, grieving who you were and allowing yourself to be who you really are, which is amazing, Congratulations, because this is the path of ascending here. The path of ascension, spiritual awakening, becoming who you are meant to become, and letting go of all of those, you know, patterns and habits and structures and belief systems that have been in your genetic DNA, in your family lineage, and now accessing your divine self, the truth of who you are, your your angelic self here. Mountains, stand your ground. Yeah, I feel like this is emergence here. Your higher self emerging. And we have merging with the divine. Yeah, your physical self merging with your spiritual self. We have magic guardian. Unlock the magic within. Yeah, there's some things, you know, staying in that place of allowing yourself to surrender to the experience, to let go and let things fall away that no longer serve you. All the work that you put in to get yourself to this place of connecting to the divine, you know, and she's holding this like chalice, I feel, that has like smoke coming out. So maybe working with, you know, sage, some cleansing herbs will also help you to let go and to clear the space so that this, the higher energies can anchor in to your physical body. Because sometimes what happens is like when we're trying to access these downloads, these spiritual downloads and awakenings, you know, it's information, it's more light, more love, higher vibrations. They need a space to be able to ground into the body. And so what we end up needing to do is we clear out old patterns, old structures. You know, it's clearing out the system, what programs need to be, you know, cleared, removed, uninstalled, so that there's enough space for this energy, for the new programs to be downloaded into the system. And so work with some of the cleansing herbs, some smudging, some saging, any kind of cleansing rituals, the violet flame, energies like this to help you hold that space for yourself, for your higher self, your divine self to come in. We have Capricorn, achieve. Ooh, and I love that we have that here with the mountain. And some of you might connect to Capricorn energy. I myself do. I am a Capricorn rising. Stand your ground, achieve your goals, unlock the magic within. This is having climbed the mountain, you know, having walked on, walk the path, you know, set a goal for yourself and achieving that goal, achieving your dream, having accomplished the goal, you know, and you have climbed the mountain. You have done it. You have accessed this ability to connect to your higher self. And it's a card, it's number 10, you know, so this is the beginning of this new cycle for you. Achievement in the world, you know, you have accomplished these things and you're being recognized by your guides that you have accomplished this connection, you know, to your divine self. Confrontation here. Yeah, I feel like you have confronted your past. You've confronted the things that held you back. You've confronted these patterns, faced your fears, honored and respected them, you know, made friends with them, made peace with them, and learned to heal and let go and move forward and to shift your perception. And we have, look at all these, I'm not sure what these are with all these horns here. Yeah, I feel like you've faced a lot of illusions, you know, and dealt with a lot. And that could be you grieving for everything that you have been through, you know, and grieving the process even of letting this go. so that you can access this divinity. And it can be, you know what I mean, my heart's feeling for you, pile number 2. It can be something that is a sad process because we choose this, you know, for ourselves. And it can be a little heartbreaking because we choose to come in as these innocent, vulnerable little humans, you know, where we put our care and all of our needs into other people's hands, you know, and these people can be struggling and going through their own fears and their own pains and their own illusions and, you know, insanities, and we're in their care, and they can pass these things on to us, and we end up exposing ourselves to a whole bunch of, you know, pain and trauma and negativity, and then we have to like remember who we are, have after going through all of these things and these events that were very hard. For me, I know I had a lot of them, and then still have your heart, you know, even through all of those things, even through all those struggles, everything that you've been through, to still have your heart intact, you know. It is such an accomplishment, and you should be proud of yourself. And I think the hardest part is us forgiving ourselves, you know. And I don't know why that's so hard for us to forgive ourselves, you know. A lot of times it's easier for us to forgive others than it is to forgive ourselves. But I think that's one of the major processes that we have to go through when we get to these final stages of ascension and awakening, is to forgive ourselves for choosing this experience. You know. Oh my goodness. Whew. We have ancestral realm, karmic release, healing the lineage, and boundaries. Thank you for that confirmation. Yeah, you've healed a lot. You've done a lot of healing work, and you should be proud of yourself because you have healed so much of your karmic, you know, I don't like to call them curses because it's something that is passed down generationally, and which, you know, is essentially what they call the family curse. But what they are, they're patterns, their belief systems, their habits and routines, and, you know, sometimes they call them traditions, things like that, you know, and their expectations, forced expectations on us to believe and think and you know, do things the way that they have always done in the family. And some of them are very toxic and negative and narrow-minded, and they're very limited and not very heart-based. So, and I feel like you've had to restore a lot of your heart and do a lot of healing. And sometimes it can be very lonely. You know, this is why they're the black sheeps of the family, because they're the ones who incarnate into this darkness, into this dense heaviness, and they bring this beautiful light within them into those spaces to create the change, you know, to alchemize and shift the energies so that they're not trapped and stuck in this limited space of darkness and toxicity, you know. And it can be very hard, and it can be very lonely for you to battle all of that on your own. And that's why sometimes, you know, it's good to find like-minded souls and to remain in your authenticity, because then other people can find you, you know. When you are connected to your truth and you're brave and you face your fears and you stand in your truth and you shine your light, no matter how much darkness is around you or how many other people, you know, want to put you down or tell you that you're wrong or try to shame your belief systems, so that it's something that comes from your heart, it comes from within, it is something that is divine and meant to be. You know, nothing can stop that, nothing can squash that light, because it is so connected to source, it is truth, it is divine, you're a higher vibration, and it comes from a place of love and divinity, and nothing can stop that. Nothing can you know, put that fire out. Even though it tries to. Okay, let me see what else we have. Archangel Raziel, Wisdom, Inspiration, and Akashic Records. And it's another 10. What's up? Let me see. I don't believe I have 1010 here. But if somebody knows what 1010 means, please comment that below. But I feel like it is, you know, just more of the endings of these cycles and these beginnings of these new, you know, new beginnings, and being independent and standing on your own, and manifesting this beautiful light that you have, that you're shining out for the world, that comes from your heart space, you know. And you chose to come here to bring this light, to offer it, to share it to others, and to incarnate into this family to bring that healing change, to shift those perceptions, and to root in this new legacy of love and light, a new tree of life, a new foundation, where you have faced those fears, you've battled them out. And you have achieved success. The ice queen, ideas preserved, non-action, and entitlement. Yeah, I feel like this is what you have had to work through. These old belief systems, old structures, the ego. Yeah. Oh my god, and it's number 28, another 10. Yeah, you have done it. You have completed this. Like, you have graduated. You've finished. You've done the work. This is the end of all cycles. I mean, you have the... Oh my god. And I just saw this number 2, you guys. We have 10. The soul star chakra. Merging with the divine. You have done it. You have done what you came here to incarnate for. And all of these times that you have incarnated, you have done it. You finished the cycles. You've ended any of these karmic relationships, any karmic bonds. You have liberated yourself from needing to incarnate here on earth in future incarnations. Now it'll be, you know, a choice to do so. And you may not have needed to even come to earth, but you chose to come here to help bring in the shift at this current time frame, in this age that we're all here. Your last card is Jumbie, Total Disruption. Yeah, I feel like this is what you came here to do. You came here to bring in the change, to bring in the shift, to disrupt these belief systems and these old structures, and to bring in your beautiful light, to bring in your beautiful magic. Let me read the card Jumbie for you. I read these for pile number 1. These are the secrets of the ancestors. So I wanted to get some information from the ancestors for you. So Jumbie, Total Disruption. Tears will be shed. Are you ready to accept change? Because ready or not, here it comes. You are living the Zen proverb, let go or be dragged. What are you struggling to hold on to? Ding dong, that old situation is dead. Shift happens. There is radical change happening with and around you. So allow yourself to cleanse the energy of the past and forge ahead. A new beginning starts now. Woohoo! Confirmation. Alright, this is the ancestral memory that comes with Jumbie. Jumbies are otherworldly shadow spirits and monsters in the Caribbean. In Caribbean carnivals, the Moko Jumbie towers high on stilts as a god who sees right and wrong doers. People fear the Jumbie as a messenger of death. However, the Jumbie is most potent as a messenger of life. Jumbie reminds us to embrace the changes of life. Jumbie is as much about beginnings as endings. Isn't that amazing? The medicine that Jumbie offers is fear of change and fear of death are two huge fears of those who walked before. Your ancestors are calling on you to release any fear and rise as yourself with all the lessons from the past in your heart. Your declaration mantra, I am completely open to the sacred magic of change. And I think that it's so synchronistic that this card represents the endings and new beginnings for you, and to let go of the old and embrace this new beginning for yourself. This is what you came here for. You came here to bring in this change, to bring in new beginnings, to shift these roots, to shift the old perceptions and the old ways of doing things. Wow. All right, pile number 2. This was your reading. I'd love to have you back in future readings, and I'm sending y'all all my love. Y'all take care. Have a blessed day. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. You chose the Garden Quartz. Let me show y'all this really pretty stone. This one even has a rainbow in it. I love this crystal. It is also called Garden Quartz or Shamanic Dream Quartz, Lodolite, Scenic Quartz, Inclusion Quartz. It goes by many different names. This is a great stone to work if you are healing and cleansing and going through a transformative process, which is great because it is paired with the Violet Flame card here. This crystal is really good for meditation, energy work, communicating with your spirit guides, helping to deepen your connection to them, to help ground your spiritual energies, which is why it's called the Garden Quartz. It's also really good for deepening meditation, helping you to clarify your thoughts and your emotions, bringing more inspiration, concentration, helping you to retain any information that you've been studying or learning. Great crystal if you're going to school. What else? What else can we say about Garden Quartz? It's really good for expanding your consciousness too, and helping you to ground any transformative work that you have been going through here into the, like, earthing that energy. So we have that paired with the Violet Flame. So I feel like you are going through a transformative process at the moment now. Your crown, I feel like your third eye is going through a cleansing process at the moment. Yeah, there's been some kind of transformation, spiritual evolution. You're receiving a lot of wisdom from your experiences. You're transforming with the butterflies here on this page, transforming your perceptions and receiving more spiritual downloads. Maybe you've been working with the Violet Flame, which is a crystal of transformation. It helps cleanse out any lower vibrations. If you've gone through on a healing journey and you've worked through a lot of, you've gone through the healing process, could be some residual particles of that old debris, you know, old patterns, habits, patterning, you know, with the healing traumas and everything. There could be just a little bit of residuals in your aura, and working with the Violet Flame helps purify and cleanse your aura and your energy so that you can anchor in these higher vibrations, you know, and have more clarity, more wisdom and knowledge and perception on these experiences that you've come through. So, and you know, the Crown Chakra helps you to expand your perception. It connects your spiritual into the physical body and bridging them and connecting yourself, connecting you to your higher self, your divinity, your angelic wisdom. And it's 52, like I was saying, which is a 7, and that is spirituality. Yeah, I feel like you're seeing something, maybe yourself, through the eyes of wisdom, seeing your own beauty, let's see what else we have. We have mead and wine. Ooh, I like that. And look, it's the mirror. We have 52 and 25. There's the mirroring that's taking place. Your presence embodied, tasting the pleasure flowing through your being. This is the transformative process, you know. Wine and, you know, mead is the, it's the aging, you know, of fruit, of honey, and it goes through this alchemical process, you know, from one physical creation into another. You know, it's that lead into gold, honey into mead, and grapes into wine. It goes through an aging process, and it becomes something completely different. And that is the, you know, working with the violet flame. And it's so wild that we have the garden quartz here, which is typically what happens in my readings. I choose these crystals before the piles are even created, before I even shuffle the decks and choose the decks or the cards that come out. You know, I just ask whoever is choosing this particular crystal for the cards to come out, and they always align, which I love. All right, let's see what else we have. We have whiskey. That is so funny. Life, and look, I mean, this is, you know, 25 in the deck, and we have 41 in the deck, and these are these alcohol, you know, they're spirits. 41, which is a 5. Lots of change and transformation for you, pile number 3. Life should be sipped slowly with intention. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. Ooh. What does this say? Not sure what that says. Spirit distillery. Oh my goodness. Yeah, your spirit, your soul is going through a transformation at the moment. So it's being purified, it's being cleansed, it's being healed, it's transforming and becoming someone new, having that connection to your higher self. Beautiful. Life lessons learned, you know, healing. What else? We have great teacher. Learn from spiritual experiences. Yeah, you may be called to teach what you have learned through your healing process. You know, this wisdom that you've gained through your experience, and finding that peace of mind, that calming energy within, the stillness within. And you may be being asked to be still, since we have patience here, and sipping slowly. It's the information, this new version of you, the higher self, your divine self, is slowly working its way down into the physical. And so it takes time for you to process this information, to process the wisdom, the new beginning. And it takes a little bit of, you know, patience to allow yourself to hold space for your transformation to take place. You know, you're blooming, you're transforming, you're freeing yourself from a matrix that has been, you know, very restricted and dense and heavy. And so it takes time for this to transform and alchemize out of our auras, you know, because it's been very heavy. It's generational, so it takes a little bit of, you know, patience. Be patient with yourself to allow the transformation to take place. Spend some time out in nature. Meditation, definitely grounding your spiritual wisdom here. Direction guardian, choose your path. And this could be why you're asked to be in that meditative place and, you know, spend some time in nature, because you are able to make choices now from a higher perspective, from a more knowledgeable place. So you can make better choices for yourself. What is it you want for your life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Having gained this wisdom and mastery. relationship. Should we put this here? And we have partnership. Okay. Did we have another one of these? No. We have a 9 and a 4. So this is that balance that's taking place within, you know, the masculine and the feminine, the mind and the heart. Having that right relationship with yourself, you know, your inner child, that healing that you have brought forth. Seventh house. This is partnerships. Yeah. More partnership, relationships with you. Yeah, coming into alignment with your higher self, in partnership with the divine here, and working with the divine to create something new, you know, to teach others. This might be part of your spiritual purpose, is teaching others now, and connecting with other like-minded souls who are here with similar ideas and a mission to bring this healing here to the planet and to share it with others. I have Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, and the end of a cycle. More confirmation that you have completed a cycle here, and that you are shifting, and new information, new downloads are coming in. You're extracting the wisdom from all of your experiences and coming into partnership and right relationship with self and source, your higher self. Ooh, look, and we have teacher again, learning a new path. You are probably in the process as well of switching guides. Usually when we have, we've passed the test, we have, you know, Earth is a school, and we all take different courses, different lessons. We have different teachers, different guides to help us through these classes that we're taking. And when we have passed a test, we passed a class, we've aced it, we graduated from this particular life lesson, we move forward into another grade, and then we receive, we sign new contracts, we have new guides, we have new teachers, there's new lessons, you know, so everything, that shift to take place, you know, there's this, a recalibration that takes place. So you almost are kind of like in an in-between phase. It's the ending of the old, but also the beginning of something new. And there's the space in between where you are still processing the lessons and everything that you've learned. And there's this like review of everything that you've been through and come through, right? And then you decide what is coming forward on the journey, moving forward now, you know, what are some things that you can let go of, that you need to release, that you don't need to carry forward on the new journey, you know. And so it's like this assessment that takes place, and then those contracts get signed with your new guides and your new teachers, and then initially you will begin to move forward. We have this teacher card here, which is with a number 8, which is about karmic balance. So this is restoring balance. So when we end the cycle and we begin a new cycle, you know, you want to make sure that your energy is moving in a forward direction, that it's not still attached to any of these old energies, that it's still releasing. There's this cleansing process that has to finish out before then the new beginning can take place. And so working with the violet flame is a very beneficial tool for you. And that can be visualizing yourself surrounded by a violet flame that has a little bit of gold, you know, sparkles in it, and invoking the violet flame to transform any, you know, lower vibrations and to bring in more higher vibrations into your energy field. You can work with Archangel Sadikiel. I believe he's the angel that works with the violet flame, or Saint Germain. I believe they're just different incarnations of the same being. But you can also look up I believe there's certain words that you can invoke, like I am the violet fire, I'm the purity that source desires, things like this. There's a whole bunch of things that you can use to work with the violet flame before you can begin this new path of learning. So something new, you're about to begin the journey. We have the Dragon's Duel, Inner Conflict, Morality, and Conscious Choice. So yeah, this is where I feel like you are leaving behind these old energies, and this change and transformation is what's taking place. This is card number 23. This is also a number 5. So you have 55 here, which is about change, is being the only constant, and that we're constantly changing, we're constantly evolving, growing, learning, going through classes. There's always more to know, more to learn. Some people just get stuck in cycles and loops because they're not, they're not passing the test. Some people aren't even aware that they're being tested. They just aren't sure, they're not bringing their focus inward. They're focusing too much on the outside world. Dragons do. And there might be some conflicts. You may have some internal conflict about letting certain things go and afraid to move forward. Because sometimes when this is what we know, the past is what we know, it's a known experience. We've been there. We know how to work with these energies. And sometimes when we're stepping into a new place and a new path, and we're not sure, how to navigate this new space, or even who is this new version of me. It's like putting on, starting a new job and you don't know anybody, and it's a new career that you just started. It's a little uneasy because it's unknown territory, but try not to be in a place of fear. Step into a place of, exploration, of curiousness, and excitement, because this is going to be more enlightened, more of a peaceful experience for you. What else? We have the Web Weaver, Synchronicity, Divine Intelligence, Cause and Effect. So we have another 4 here, 44. Having integrity as your foundation and treating yourself and Mother Earth as a temple. It's also about manifestation and leadership. And I feel like this is you on the verge of something new here, standing on the edge, reaping the rewards from all the work that you have put in, and understanding that everything has purpose and everything has meaning. And every choice you make has a consequence to them. Everything that we do, everything we create has consequence. And being more perceptive and more aware helps us to be more conscious of our choices, of our thoughts, of our words, and making sure that they are in alignment with our truth. And this is where we get divine intelligence, because we're more conscious, more aware, having a more open crown chakra, more open third eye, being able to be more perceptive and more understanding, having attained the wisdom from our experience. The final card, the unknown, and now it's a 44. So we have 4, 4, 4, 4. I know 444 is about being, surrounded by your angels and your guides, and that you're being guided through whatever it is that you're going through, and to pay attention to what you're focusing on. Yeah, and look at this wisdom that's just being poured over you. And it's this golden elixir, the healing energy. And it's such a beautiful color, that purple and white. This is your crown chakra and your third eye chakra being cleansed and healed and purified and renewed. Ooh, I'm going to look this up. This is the, I did this in Pile 1 and Pile 2. This is the secrets of the ancestors. So I just wanted to get their wisdom for you, to share that from your crown chakra, to see what they wanted to offer. Because anybody who has an open crown chakra, which every reading has, I believe pile number 1 had a little bit of perception shifting that needed to take place, but all of them were pretty open, and which means that you have transcended some old patterns that have been processed and passed down from generational, programming. And so I wanted to see what your ancestors wanted to say, having gone through this spiritual healing, because everybody who's incarnated here on earth, we each take on some of the karmic debris and heavy baggage, in the shadow and the darkness, and we all do our best to alchemize as much as we can, so that the generations born after us have less and less work to do until finally we purify the bloodline. And so, your ancestors that have come before you, each person has taken on so much of the duty and the burden. And so I wanted to see what blessings or what inspiration, advice, or, offerings they could give you. Okay, 44. The unknown enigma. Still trying to control everything? ? The answers you seek are unknowable at this moment, or the divine is not ready to give you the full picture right now. Nothing is certain. This is not a yes or a no, but a pause. Trusting the unknown is about having unwavering faith. Believe in your bones that your ancestors have your back and are guiding you towards something greater. It may feel scary, but when we trust, amazing things can happen. The unknown calls us to step into a world of infinite avenues where dreams are born and miracles unfold. Let go of expectations and open yourself up to what could be. All right, this is the ancestral memory. If you were close to a family member or another person when they were in the physical realm, they are likely still with you now. The unknown ancestors are also still loving and protecting you. On a soul level, we know all of our ancestors. Put your hands over your heart and feel into their guidance and affirm, just for today, I know that I am safe. And here's the ancestral medicine. If something is out of alignment with your nervous system, you will reject it. This includes all of your intentions, your goals, your dreams, and plans. It is imperative to become comfortable with being uncomfortable so that you can continue to take risks to grow, evolve, and expand. Your declaration mantra is, I am being guided and protected. So that is their wisdom, and I love that they are saying to have trust and faith in the unknown, because this part is still being woven together here, and to let go of any expectations of how things are supposed to look to you, how you think they should be, and to just allow yourself to open up and to allow things to unfold, and pay attention to the synchronicities that may appear before you. Open yourself up to connect to your guides. Listen for any signs or messages that you may be perceiving or receiving, especially when you're sleeping or in the evening time. But I feel like they are definitely with you and proud of you, and are just allowing you, wanting you to be in a space of being open and receptive and going with the flow, okay? That's so funny. And we have, life should be sipped slowly with intention. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. Yeah, you're going to be shown and guided on the paths moving forward. So at the moment, though, you're going through a transformation. You're going through a cleansing, a purging energy. Like I was saying, you're shifting out of one phase and beginning a new one. You just got to Be receptive, be patient, be open-minded, allow yourself to work with the violet flame to finish purifying your energies and your aura, and then allow yourself to be guided on the next steps going forward, and to take that leap of faith, and trust that you're always being guided and your higher self is always with you, watching over you. Connect to your heart space anytime you need any further information, okay? Woohoo! All right, pile number 3. This was your reading. Thank you all for being here with me today. If this reading resonates with you, go ahead and leave. Let's do a flame in the comment section. And I'd love to have you back for future readings. Sending y'all all of my love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day.